just by restarting the modem and the router. At a minimum, we've gained 184 to 188 megabits per second. And now we're in the game, we're not getting the packet loss, much more enjoyable experience, much more fluid. We have a much better ability to react to what's going on in the map. Alright, so we have some allergies that we're dealing with today, but we're going to try to just get this video out real quick here, because it's a simple video, but it's important, and it's an easy fix that can help people get back up and running properly on their system. So let's see if we can find the right words to get through this. This is for situations where you can get into the game, it's just loads into the game very slowly, and then once you start playing, you're observing a large amount of packet loss. And to monitor for packet loss, you can do that in a lot of gaming titles. To do it in Call of Duty Warzone, we can click the options button down here, lower left of the menu screen here in Warzone. Now, after their last update, the button is not working on our system, so just press F3, and that'll take you into the menu. Then you can go to the General tab, and then scroll down to Telemetry. In the Telemetry section, you can turn on certain indicators. So we can turn on frames per second, we can turn on server latency, and we can turn on packet loss. And you can also turn on other things here. So that's how you can turn on in-game packet loss monitoring. I mean, ideally, you won't have any packet loss. If you start getting packet loss, it's going to affect your gameplay. It's going to affect your response, your reaction. Things are going to seem... It's going to almost seem like the graphics card is not rendering things right, that it's stuttering. So there's a lot of things that can cause stuttering and those other things, but if you're observing packet loss, that's likely the issue. We may have a corrupted connection, so what we want to do is exit the game title, and then run a speed test. A couple that we've been using lately is fast.com and Google's speed test. Both of those work really similarly. We get pretty much identical speed results from both of them. Fast.com is powered by Netflix, and it usually just starts right away. So you just go to fast.com. As soon as the page loads, the speed test starts. And you can see here, we exited out of the game because it was loading slowly, and we're getting like 2 to 6 megabits per second. That's not good. That's going to be very poor gameplay experience. If we're expecting over 100 megabits per second at this location, if we're only getting 2 to 6, there's a good chance the connection has become corrupted as well. So that may lead to the packet loss and just the slow quality of the connection in general. And if you want to use Google Speed Test, you can just go to google.com, search speed test, and they will have an embedded speed test in the top of the search results. That one works pretty well too. There's a little privacy policy about how they document IP addresses, things like that. So read that if you're interested in that. And then we're going to restart the router to help clean up our connection, to help make the gameplay experience more enjoyable, because this is not going to be enjoyable. We're going to be missing a lot of things, a lot of shots. We're going to be getting hit from different angles and not even see it coming. So to restart the router and or modem, you can just do this in 3 basic ways. The first way is just to go up to the device and unplug it from the wall, and then plugging it back in, and that will initiate a restart sequence. Another method is a lot of times these devices will have an on and off switch on the device itself, or maybe even a restart switch. If you have them in a corner, or you may need to take a flashlight, it can be hard to see where the on and off switch is for the device, if it even has one. Not every device has one, and that's why you could just unplug it and plug it back in if it doesn't have one. And then the third method, you don't even have to leave your computer at all. You can stay at your computer if you know all the information that you need to know. If you have a modem router combination, then you only need to restart one device. If you have a router behind the modem, it's best to just restart both devices, just to flush out the entire volatile RAM memory that may have been corrupted in the running device, and also to reset the DHCP connections, and just restart all the hardware and bring it back online. What you'll need to do this from your computer is the network address to communicate with the device, and then the user login name and password. A lot of times these will be in your user manual for the device, and or there may be a sticker on the device that tells this information, and it may tell the network address, the username and password. If you're leasing your modem from the internet service provider, then you may need to contact them to get that information. A lot of times they'll have a community support forum online where they may mention that, or some help pages. A lot of times the username and password is going to be admin for the username and admin for the password. And in this case, the network address to communicate with the modem router combination that we have at this location is 192.168.0.1, and that's going to load the administrative pages for that device. And we're going to log in using our username and password. Once we log in, we're going to navigate the menu and find the place where we can reset the modem from the administrative pages. And in this case, we go over here to troubleshooting, and then we go to restart, restore. And there's a lot of options here where we can restore to defaults if we want to. We don't want to do that because then we may lose our port forwarding, MAC bridging, or anything that we've set up, the time servers, specific special DNS servers that we've inputted, things like that. If we restore it to default, we're going to have to re-input all that. So we're just going to restart the device and see if that helps clean up the connection. So we're going to click Restart Gateway. For this particular device, it's going to restart the modem, the router, and the Wi-Fi component. We're not using Wi-Fi on this device, but it will restart all of those modules that are combined in this single device. Once it restarts, it can take between 2 to 10 minutes to get back online, to get reconnected. And then once we're reconnected, we're going to run a speed test again. And you can see we're getting much better results now, much better. We were getting 2 to 6 megabits per second before. To have any kind of enjoyable gameplay on something like Warzone, where there's a lot of online multiplayer interaction, you're going to need at least 20-25 megabits per second or more. And we're expecting over 100 megabits per second at this location. So now we're getting 190 to 220 megabits per second. So just by restarting the modem and the router, at a minimum, we've gained 184 to 188 megabits per second. And now we're in the game, we're not getting the packet loss, much more enjoyable experience, much more fluid. We have a much better ability to react to what's going on in the map because we're not losing frames. Before we were losing, what, 12%, 20%, 30%. I mean, we could be missing 2, 3, 4, 5 frames for every 10 that are being delivered. So we're going to be missing a lot of action. So yeah, give this a try. If you try and load into one of your gaming titles and you're having this issue, it doesn't have to just be Warzone. It could be any gaming title in general. And you played this yesterday and it was fine, but now you're having this issue. This is a good starting point. Go to your modem, go to your router, restart it. You can even do it from your computer. You can pull up your browser, put the network address in, log into the administrative pages, find the place in the options where you can click to restart the gateway, and just restart it, and then run a speed test again and see if that increases your connection speed and overall just cleans up the quality of the connection. So hopefully this helps identify and resolve similar issues on your system as well. Alright, as a side note, some setups or locations may need multiple restarts daily to keep acceptable connection speeds and to improve packet delivery. If you're having to restart your router and your modem multiple times daily, then it may be worth troubleshooting the network further or contacting your ISP for additional diagnostics in order to try to help identify if the issue is something that can be remedied with a viable long-term solution. Some issues could include line power and or noise issues, hardware incompatibility or insufficiency, security issues due to things like malicious packet attacks, and or ISP related issues such as your geographical location on the line, extreme congestion, or a broad range of other inadequacies on your ISP's network.
You a smart one, you. It's go. Good. So are we.
network infrastructure. To improve packet delivery. Security issues.
Infrastructure.
Delivery.
You don't get the war we're fighting, do you? Stitch is capable of anything. Secure the site.
Packet
Delivery.